Ramblin Man here. Now, did any of y'all see the interview? It's on Fox News, but it's an interview with Riley McCollum's family. Riley McCollum's Lance Corporal that died, one of the 13 that died in Kabul when all the suicide bombers attacked. So, I don't know if y'all saw that. I would highly recommend you go check it out. I'll tell you this. So, I don't know how, as a parent, I've never lost a child. I don't know how I would react in this situation. I know the dad and two sisters were there talking, and when they asked if they met with the president, because they got invited to the White House. They're all there, and when they asked, the dad and one of the sisters, Roy, said, no, we're not. They both decided not to meet with the president, and they asked why, and the dad said, because I feel like a high schooler could have ran this better than what the president and his administration did. I felt like they fumbled the ball all along the whole field. That was just his words, what he talked about. The other sister, Cheyenne, went in there to be with Riley McCollum's wife, Gianna. She met with them, and she said she could only take about 15 seconds. And well, first off, he said, why did you go in there? And she said, well, I wanted to go in there to see if he was real or see what it was about, what was his take on it. And the whole thing, she said, I can only take about 15 seconds of the fake. She said you could tell it was scripted. He touched Gianna's leg and said, I know the feelings. I know what you're going through. I've lost a son as well. But she said it was more about his son, which is always about Beau. Always about Beau Biden, not about the 13. We as a nation just lost 13 service members, and we lose service members all the time, and they're not brought up into light what they've done for this country. This is a young man. He was just married before he went off and got deployed. Was supposed to go to Jordan, ended up going to Kabul, and while he was there, he dies, and his wife is 3 weeks from giving birth. So, a soon-to-be father is dead, as well as 12 other service members. And these are the things that, for someone, it meant a lot back in the day. Whenever George W. Bush, the reason I bring him up is not because he was the best president, not because he was the worst president. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with his character. I will tell you this, when people meet him, he was very true. He was very genuine. And he still does things for a lot of disabled soldiers at his ranch in Crawford. And so he'll have a special get-together. They do dances, all kinds of stuff. But because that's who he is. Is he well-spoken? No. Does he sound like he's uneducated at times? Yes. But it is who he is. It's his character. And you can look through every president and see their mistakes they made. But the one thing I will say is he is very good at talking to people. Cheyenne said that the president would not even look them in the eyes, would always divert. Then I just saw this just recently, so it was just fresh in my mind. So let's talk about a little bit about Biden and this whole thing. Okay, first off, this whole thing with Afghanistan, yes, we wanted to get out of there. And when he starts off his little speech, his little press conference thing, he's talking about Afghanistan. And you have to remember, he was the vice president when Obama was in office. And so George W. Bush happened, then Obama, then Trump, now him, right? So he had 8 years with Obama remember, he was in charge of foreign affairs, that he could have really influenced the pulling out of people from Afghanistan. But that didn't happen then. No, it happens now because he can say, you know what, we're going to do it right now, even though there was not a plan. He said, I had to write this stuff down because he said, we had no idea that the country would be taken over so fast by Taliban. And we had to be prepared for that. And we were prepared for every eventuality, even that one. And if you listen to that, you know that is bull crap. There was no way that they were prepared for that. They were not prepared for the Taliban to come through, sweep to the country, and take over it in 9 days. That was not something he planned for, because he was caught with his pants down. He would not take answers about Afghanistan. Now that it's over, he talks about real big and everything, like, oh yeah, we were prepared for that. You were not prepared for that, Biden. You were not. So they keep bringing up, this is one of the, if not the biggest airlifts in history. Great. So put that in the history books. We had the biggest airlift. Why'd you have the biggest airlift? Because you screwed up so much that you had to get everybody out there right away because it was falling apart. And you had a deadline of August 31st, and you bent. You bent to the Taliban, and you folded to them because they said, you better not extend it. What are they going to do to you if you say, you know what, I'm about to lay down hell and fury upon you? But no, we're like, okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to get out of here because I can't have any loss of life. You lost 13 U.S. service members because of trying to get people out, because ISIS and Taliban are enemies, and the ISIS comes in and just blows up all these people that are trying to get in. Your own interpreter, y'all can look this up, just look this stuff up. His own interpreter that helped him, he was grounded in a helicopter over in Afghanistan in 2008. A interpreter, my name is Muhammad, he won't go through the full name because they don't want to disclose that, he's in hiding right now. He is still left over there in Afghanistan. Him, his wife, and his 4 kids. He wanted out, but the U.S. wouldn't let them into the airport. He sent out a message to Biden, please help me out of here, because he jumped into a Humvee with a bunch of other Arizona guardsmen and the 82nd Airborne, and they take off and they go over and they rescue Biden in this helicopter that had to land in a snowstorm, brings him back, and he's part of that group, and he's been on 100 different firefights with these guys, yet he's left over there. He tries to dismiss everything and throw it in there. He talks about the other administrations, throwing all the other administrations under the bus. I was not willing to extend this war. I was not willing to prolong the evacuation. No, you're a puss. Let's be honest. That's exactly what happened. There are other generals and things calling for resignations of the generals that were in charge of these forces that withdrew so fast. It's so screwed up right now. It is so screwed up, I can't even tell you. So it's just one of those things that it'll get me fired up. Just let me know what your thoughts are. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share, comment, and like. It's time for change right now, people. Biden needs to be gone. Ramblin' Man out.